Fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
It's July 21st, 2022. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine, and this is ICAST 2022. Here all week with my friend Matt Broderick from the Long Island edition. Together, we've got like 40 appointments, which means at least 40 video presentations, 40 different product spotlights that we've got to share for you in the next couple of months. Now, every week, we will be bringing something to you at thefisherman.com. It could be from the likes of Daiwa, Shimano, Penn. We've got them all. We've got them all covered. Short spotlights. They will be coming to you every Monday for the next 2 months, maybe 3. I have no idea. Matt and I have been busy. So what's it like down in Orlando in July? That's what people ask me. Well, I'll tell you what it's like. It's hotter than a breakfast taco in a 5-alarm buggy fire. You heard that one before, right? It is hot in Orlando, but the news that I'm getting back at home is equally hot back at the Jersey Shore. A heat index of 100 or better coming up in the next several days. And hopefully this hot spell that we're under now at the Jersey Shore and throughout the Delaware Bay region will do something with those bottom temperatures, because the bottom temps at the reefs and wrecks have been a little bit chilly. And even though these reefs are paved with summer flounder, they have been slow to bite. So hopefully this hot weather will lead to some warming of the reefs and an especially fiery fluke bite. At Cape May Reef, for example, I heard from Morgan Reich. She was up from Virginia Beach. Got a nice one. Cape May Reef, Captain Harv Yankinson, Vetcraft Sport Fishing. Also, late last week, Mark Pankowitz checked in with us. He hit Axel Carlson. Got himself a good one aboard Fins Up. Brought up this 32-inch fluke, weighed in over at Gabriel Tackle and Brick. That sucker weighed in at 11.42 pounds. Not sure where the Duke of Fluke winner was caught. Could be inside, could be out. That big tournament out of Sterling Harbor was on Saturday. Congratulations to Captain Sean Gallagher and Team Bad Eagle. They're getting on that Sterling Harbor Duke of Fluke award. Always a great tournament. Also, remember, this Saturday, the Point Pleasant Elks will host their 27th annual Fluke tournament. $40,000 in cash prizes based on a certain tournament field. That's this Saturday. If you want to get in on that, go to pointpleasantelks.org. And if you saw my column this week at thefisherman.com about put a pin in it, I mentioned tournament participation overall this season seems a little bit low. I'll tell you what, Jersey Coast Shark Anglers is hosting a 30-day fluke tournament starting on July 30th. A one-day is also in the mix on that one, but that month-long contest is interesting in these slot days. That double shot captains meeting is going to be at club headquarters next week, next Friday, July 29th. You can go to jcsa.org. But again, with some of these fluke tournaments this season, guys thinking, well, I only get one shot at a big fish. Well, 30 days might be the way to do it. Another interesting fluke tournament's coming out of Staten Island this week. I just heard from Walt Fisher while I was here in Orlando this week. They've got the Grandpa Savino Memorial Fluke Tournament. Estimated $20,000 plus in prizes. Now in Staten Island, of course, you're in Raritan Bay, so there's a mix of New Jersey and New York entries. But Walt tells me that Staten Island Tuna Club has a very unique option there this year, because if you're weighing in fish from Jersey, if you're coming into New York, and if you're going to spend your time fishing in New York, you can bring in that limit and go with your biggest fish. As long as you're fishing in New York waters, they'll donate some of the fish to the local food bank. That way you can come back across in Jersey waters with whatever that biggest fluke is. You can go to Staten Island Tuna Club's website, which I believe is situnaclub.com. Just remember, as you're gearing up for all these fluke tournaments, don't forget the Primo baits.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing: that nothing says no to fish bites.
I did get a chance to sneak out for a few hours right before heading to ICAST, dragging those Sterling wide trackers around. We were only about 18 to 20 miles off the beach, but only had one big tasty bonita to share for it. Mike McCormick here with that bone. He likes them in fish tacos. I will say, bleed them, ice them. When you get back and after you fillet them up and clean them up nicely, put them in the freezer for a couple of hours and then take them out. You can, if you get a good sized bonita like Mike's here, you can cook this on the grill just as you would tuna. It doesn't have that same fulfilling taste. There's something a little It's just a mild flavor. Also, you can have them sashimi as well. Very good idea with those bonita. Now, just saying that we didn't hit them last week at Little Italy. Still, we're getting some reports in that region at the Resurrect. Barnegat Ridge is starting to catch some fish. And we are hearing more of those tuna in the mid-range grounds. It's not just the bluefin, but also the yellowfin. We heard from Cameron, Steve, Kevin, and Colin. Real Fuelish is the name of their boat. They had some nice yellowfin at Captain Bill's. So if you want to look for a hot time this weekend as the temperatures soar, get offshore. Look for some of those yellowfin and bluefin. They're really not that far off at this point. One thing I can tell you is talking to all these folks, the manufacturers. We just finished up a discussion with Jack Sprangle from Shimano. They've got some great jigging stuff. We talked to the folks at Sea Falcon. So many new jigging options are coming out in terms of the gear. St. Croix's got a great rod out for jig and pop. So it's definitely something that we're seeing. A lot of our fishery in the Northeast is sharing itself quite well with the manufacturers at the national level. So I'm really looking forward to that and seeing all these new products coming out this fall, into the winter, a couple of them into 2023. Now, if you're looking for the latest reports on the offshore grounds, as well as North Jersey, Central Jersey, South Jersey, freshwater, and also Delaware, make sure you go to thefisherman.com. Every Sunday, we're compiling the reports. They're posted on Monday morning. You can get the latest, greatest updates on those fishing reports from the region by going to thefisherman.com. And of course, make sure you pick up that July edition in newsstands. It's only got a shelf life of a few more days because we're getting ready to come out with the August edition. But you want to look for Jimmy Leone on the cover with that tsunami popper yellowfin. There's some great articles in that magazine to help you gear up for the top water bite. For a fresh outlook on the weekend ahead, let's head to Beltsville with my friend George, the Pocono Outdoors guy.
Well, hey, thanks, Jim. The heat is on, and not just at ICAST. It's kind of warm and balmy here, but the fishing is hot as well. I wanted to touch base on things up in Wallenpaupack. You know, one of my favorite things to do is that midsummer striper. And young Liam, 10 years old, Liam Payne, got into those stripers out with my good friend Will Grouper. They were out fishing Wallenpaupack, as I said. A lot of the techniques that guys use, they control those bucktails, they control those mojos, or even drag real slow some of those herring and get in some of these big stripers. Now, his dad, Will Payne, was getting into them too. He wasn't going to be upstaged by his 10-year-old son. So they were all getting into some great stripers. Now, I have to tell you that Dennis Eberhardt was also out there at Wallenpaupack, and he didn't want to miss any of that action. He was in there getting them too. So guys, if you like those summertime stripers, there's some good tactics to get them, but you got to get down to that cold water because those stripers don't like that 80-degree water even a little bit. So check that out. Now also, for summertime, you want to look for some cooler water. And that's guys like the river guy, Tim Keeble, were out on the Delaware, and he was really into his groove. He found that those small square-billed crankbaits were getting the job done for him as he racked up a bunch of fish early one morning. So lots of great fishing on Delaware. Don't miss it out. Also some striper fishing there too if you can get the right tactic. Now don't forget the topwater bite. You know, this time of year, everyone loves a topwater bite for bass. My good friend Eric Goodstall was out with a popper, getting that work done on those bass. Lots of fish, guys. I wish I was ICAST with you guys, but for right now, from the Poconos, I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors guy.
Usually what I say when I'm going away for a few days is, while the cat's away, the mice will play. But now I find out this week I'm getting inundated with text messages. When the cat's away, the rats in government are running amok. Dan Nee reports this week, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service found some kind of strange plant along the beaches at the Jersey Shore, and they want Brick Township to restrict buggy access because of this rare grass. If it ain't the plovers, it's the clovers. I'll have more to learn on this when I get back, but doing some preliminary research from here in Orlando, it seems like U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is telling the municipalities they want to reduce beach access. I heard a rumor that Governor Murphy says, oh no, we'll restrict it more to save this beautiful plant. Seems like the tree huggers that rode the blue wave in 2020, well, they're continuing to try to do that. Phil Murphy, my man himself, he's riding that blue wave as long as it'll go. I feel like he's already forgotten about what needs to be done in New Jersey. I mentioned this because my Marine Fisheries Council update, you knew that I sat through that meeting last Thursday. I told you I was going to. Missing seats on the New Jersey Marine Fisheries Council, a lack of recreational votes. Found out from Assistant Commissioner Dave Golden last week. He said the governor has put a new policy in place that, quote, diversifying all councils and committees. So Golden says that the division is a few weeks away from a new letter seeking candidates for the council. How long is this going to go? I have no idea. Diversifying means pretty much that the resumes that are in already, that have been in since 2020, hold on for a while, because the state is now finding diverse candidates to see if we can get some better candidates in there. I'm not exactly sure what this means, but we're going to be a little bit longer on that appointment. Same thing can be said about the ASMFC. Mr. Golden said the same thing about diversifying candidates at the ASMFC. Right now we only have 2 votes. So this is the situation that we're looking at as far as these council and commission appointments. In terms of speckled trout, we've talked about that for a couple of years, because speckled trout is connected to weak fish in terms of the state law. That has got to be disassociated. They got to pull speckled trout away from weak fish. That document that I've been talking about for 2 years is just getting ready for legal review. So maybe sometime in 2023, we will be looking at a separate speckled trout regulation, but certainly not for this fall. No more divisions, peace, love, unity, harmony, all that great stuff. New Jersey Fish and Wildlife, happy 130th birthday. My friends, just leave your pronouns at the door. Fluke in the surf, take the fish bites for kingfish, sand crabs, and jigs for sheepshead, resident stripers, those medals for a shot at Spanish mackerel. Who knows, maybe some bonita in the wash as well. We got to hope for that. That looks like everything that we've got coming ahead for us. I got to thank everyone for wishing me a happy birthday on Sunday. Just turned 55. Thank you. In my life, I've met rock stars, senators, actors, professional athletes, all of them. But I got to tell you, at 55 years old here at ICAST this week, I met John Prochnow. Who's John Prochnow? He's the guy who invented gulp. And I said I was going to go home to New Jersey and say, I told everybody in New Jersey, John, thank you for inventing gulp. It was a game changer on the Fluke grounds. We're going to leave you with a couple of updates, including Ben Gilmore from Costa Rica. Talked to a lot of people fishing in Costa Rica here, and we're also going to give you our dream boat update. But I will be here in Orlando the rest of the week, smelling like sweat, and I'll get back just in time to smell even sweatier this weekend. Stay cool and enjoy some hot action this week. We'll see you again next week at thefisherman.com.
Hey guys, checking in here from Marina Pez Vela, Costa Rica with this week's fishing report. We have got an insane blue marlin bite happening right here off Capos at the moment. Yesterday aboard my boat Good Day, we released 2 beautiful blue marlin in the 200 to 250 pound range plus 3 sailfish. Some of the boats out there yesterday raised up to 7 blue marlin in a single day. Just insane fishing by anyone's standards. Hope to see you guys down here in Costa Rica soon. Come down and check out one of the best bill fisheries in the world. Back to you guys.
The standings remain the same for this week's Dream Boat Update. We did have some notable catches like Mike Kelly from Boxwood, Mass. with his 4.75-pound sea bass, and Mark Penkowitz from Brick, New Jersey with his 11.45-pound fluke. The Dream Boat Fishing Challenge is the Fisherman subscriber-only multi-species fishing competition with a chance to win a new Steigercraft 23 Miami powered by Yamaha, along with many other great prizes. Visit thefisherman.com to subscribe and get all the details so you can be part of the action. As for the Coastal Kayak Clash competition, there are no new entries, so the standings remain the same. Check this video's description on YouTube for all the details and to be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine.